Have you ever been staring at your phone at 2 a.m., not because you're bored, but because you're analyzing? Scrolling back through her messages, rereading the same conversation for the fourth time, trying to figure out what exactly is going on here. She texts you every single day. She reacts to your stories within minutes. She calls you her person. She says things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you." And yet, every time you even hint at something more, a date, a real plan, anything that moves this forward, she goes quiet. Or she says she's so busy right now. Or she pivots the whole conversation back to herself. And you're lying there thinking, am I imagining this? Am I crazy? Or is something off? Nan, you are not imagining it, and you are not crazy. Here's the first thing I need you to hear. It's not your fault. Most guys who end up in this situation are genuinely good men. They're emotionally available, they're consistent, they show up, they're doing everything they were told a good guy does. But nobody taught them how to read the pattern underneath the behavior. And I want to be clear about something before we go any further. We do not do woman bashing on this channel. Not today, not ever. Women who use men for validation aren't evil. Most of the time, they're operating from their own unresolved emotional needs. This isn't about blame. This is about clarity. Your clarity. So you can stop bleeding energy into a situation that was never going to give you what you actually wanted. Here is the absolute truth that most men miss. Attraction is never confirmed by a single moment. It's revealed by a consistent pattern. One text doesn't mean anything. One reaction to your story doesn't mean anything. Even one deep, 2-hour conversation at midnight doesn't mean anything in isolation. What matters is the direction of her behavior over time. Is she moving toward you in real life? Or is she perfectly happy keeping this entirely in the digital space? Think of it this way. Texting is the bridge. It's not the mansion. The mansion, the actual relationship, the real attraction, the grounded connection, that gets built in person. If she's endlessly comfortable on the bridge and never actually wants to cross it, that tells you everything. Keep that image in your head. We're going to come back to it. Red flag number 1, she only texts when she needs an emotional refill. Notice the timing of when she reaches out. Is it random, natural, throughout the week? The way someone reaches out when they're genuinely thinking about you? Or does she appear, almost clockwork, whenever something goes wrong in her life? She had a bad day at work. Her other situationship ghosted her. She's feeling insecure about something. And suddenly, ping, there you are in her inbox. This is what psychologists call emotional resource extraction. You're not a person she's pursuing. You're a port in a storm. A safe place to dock when her emotional tank runs low. The why behind this? Humans naturally gravitate toward whoever makes them feel emotionally expanded, seen, validated, energized. If you've been consistently warm and available, you've essentially trained her nervous system to come to you for that expansion, without her ever having to invest in return. Start noticing the conditions under which she texts you. Happy and thriving? Does she reach out then? Or is it always when she needs something? That pattern is your data. Red flag number 2, she flirts hard, then resets to just friends energy. You know this one. It's subtle, maddening actually. One night, the conversation is electric. She's sending long messages. She's being playful. She says something that feels like a door opening. You feel it, that warmth, that pull. And then the next day, she's texting you about her grocery run like last night never happened. This back and forth isn't random. It's a pattern called push-pull without intention. She's not consciously manipulating you. She's enjoying the feeling of being desired, without wanting the responsibility of actually pursuing anything. The why. Flirting releases dopamine. For someone who is emotionally unavailable or commitment averse, that hit of connection feels good. But the moment it gets real, anxiety kicks in. So she retreats back to neutral. Don't chase the warm version of her. Don't punish the cool version either. Just observe. Outcome independence means you stay the same man whether she's running hot or cold. Your mood doesn't follow her weather. Red flag number 3. Your compliments are her fuel, but she never reciprocates. Look, there's nothing wrong with telling a woman she looks incredible or that she handled something with grace. That's normal human behavior. But pay attention to what happens after the compliment lands. Does she receive it, maybe deflect it with a little playfulness, and then naturally move the conversation forward? Or does she just absorb it, like sunlight, and then orbit back around to talking about herself? This is the validation loop. You pour in, she receives, nothing comes back. and the loop keeps running because you keep filling it. The why. People who seek external validation have an internal void that temporarily gets quieter when someone tells them they're great. But the void doesn't close. It just gets hungry again faster. You're not building a connection with her. You're feeding a mechanism. Notice how often she directs curiosity toward you. Does she ask about your life, your goals, your feelings, with genuine interest? A woman who's attracted to you wants to know you, not just be known by you. Red flag number 4. She keeps you on the shelf. I want you to visualize something. You're in a room, and there's a shelf, and on that shelf are a few things she likes to look at. Nice things. Things that make her feel good about herself when she glances over. That is where you are right now. She doesn't want to lose you, but she doesn't want to commit to you either. You're available, you're warm, you make her feel wanted. And as long as you stay right there on that shelf, she doesn't have to make any decision at all. This is called optionality maintenance. She's not choosing you, she's keeping you available for the day she might. The why. Modern digital communication makes this devastatingly easy. She can keep 5 different men engaged at a surface level with almost zero effort. Nobody has to have a real conversation. Nobody has to be honest about their intentions. The apps and the texting culture were built for this. The antidote to being on the shelf is having a full life that she can see is moving. Not performing it for her, actually living it. The moment she senses you have real things going on, real purpose, real momentum, the shelf suddenly feels less comfortable for her. Red flag number 5. She tells you everything except whether she actually likes you. She tells you about her childhood, her complicated relationship with her mother, her dreams, her fears. The thing that happened 3 years ago, she says she's never told anyone. And you think, this is intimacy. This is real. Here is the absolute truth. Emotional openness is not the same as romantic interest. Some people are simply oversharers. Some people dump their emotional weight onto whoever is kind enough to hold it, not because they're building something with you, but because you showed up and you're safe. This is what I call the digital pen pal trap. You become her therapist, her journal, her emotional sounding board. And she genuinely likes you as a function, as a role you play in her life, not as a man she wants. The why. Vulnerability without reciprocal romantic behavior is a mismatch of signals. Real intimacy goes in both directions, and it's accompanied by action, by effort, by showing up, by wanting to be around you. Gently toss a pebble. If you've been deep in emotional conversation, at some point, casually, without pressure, say something like, "We should grab coffee and continue this in person." Simple, low stakes, just a pebble in the water. Her response will tell you far more than any text ever could. Red flag number 6. She reacts to everything, commits to nothing. She watches every single one of your stories. She likes your posts within minutes. She sends you reaction emojis, voice notes, memes. There's a constant stream of micro-engagement coming from her. And yet, ask her to pin down a Tuesday night, and suddenly life is overwhelmingly complicated. Listen to me. Digital engagement is not investment. Tapping a heart requires zero effort, zero vulnerability, zero real decision-making. It's the lowest possible form of signal. The why. Consistent micro-engagement without real-world follow-through is a classic sign of someone who enjoys the idea of you. The version of you she gets to experience in controlled, low-risk doses. Real dates, real time, real presence, those require something from her. And if she's not willing to give that, no amount of story views should fool you. Stop interpreting digital activity as interest. The only meaningful signal is she making time to actually be around you? That's it. That's the whole metric. Everything else is noise. Red flag number 7. She gets distant the moment you show real confidence. This one is the most revealing of all. When you were a little unsure, a little eager, maybe a little over-available, she was warm. She texted back fast. She kept the conversation going. And then one day, something shifted. Maybe you got a little busier. Maybe you started responding slower. Maybe you just started showing up with a bit more groundedness, a bit more calm confidence, less needy. And she pulled back, got cooler, maybe even got a little passive-aggressive. Here is the absolute truth. A woman who is genuinely attracted to you becomes more interested when she senses you have a strong sense of self, not less. If she gets cold the moment you stop being anxious, that coldness is data. She liked the dynamic where she had maximum leverage. where your mood depended on hers. A grounded, present man disrupts that dynamic entirely. This is polarity mechanics at work. Real attraction requires a difference in energy, presence, and direction from the man, genuine feminine expression from the woman. Someone who needs to stay dominant in an emotional dance will feel uncomfortable the moment you're no longer chasing the beat she's setting. Stay grounded. Don't revert back to anxious availability to win her warmth back. That is the trap. Your presence is your power, and the right woman will respond to it, not retreat from it. Before you close this video, I need to say one more thing. None of this means you're broken. None of this means you did everything wrong. And this absolutely does not mean all women operate this way. They do not. Women do not expect perfection. The right woman isn't going to run from you because you were a little too eager once, or because you said something awkward, or because you didn't play it cool in the first few weeks. Awkwardness is human. Uncertainty is human. You are allowed to be a normal, grounded, real person. What you're building, slowly, through self-awareness and presence, isn't a game. It's just a better version of yourself. And that version doesn't need external validation to feel solid. You are not a shelf ornament. You are not a pen pal. You are not a free therapist. You are a man with direction, and that is worth protecting. Now, here's the thing. You can recognize all 7 of these red flags. You can read the pattern perfectly, but if you don't know how to respond, how to pull back without looking petty, how to show real interest without becoming available 24/7, how to actually set up a real date without making it awkward, then you're still stuck. So the next logical step? Go watch our video on how to create real tension in conversation. Not the fake movie kind, but the quiet, magnetic kind that makes her actually want to meet you in person. Because that's where this goes next. From reading the pattern to setting a better one. I'll see you there.